National Geographic Kids, Amelia Earhart by Caroline Crosson Gilpin. Amelia Earhart. Okay, so our first chapter is Who was Amelia Earhart? Who was Amelia Earhart? Airplanes were new in the 1920s. People mostly traveled by car or boat or train, but Amelia Earhart dreamed of flying. Amelia was one of the first women pilots. She was known all over the world. She did many things women had never done before. Okay, words to know. A pilot is a person who flies an airplane. In this picture, that is Amelia Earhart. Growing up. Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24, 1897. She grew up in Atchison, Kansas. She had a sister named Muriel. The girls played football and fished. They read books and collected bugs. Back then, girls wore long dresses, but Amelia's mother made them play suits. Then they could run and play like boys. This is the house where Amelia was born. So these are the captions. Here she is in her own words. This is a quote that she said. I believe that women have as much courage as men. Amelia's family moved a lot. She went to many different schools. Amelia made friends easily. She enjoyed making people laugh. When Amelia grew up, she worked as a nurse. Later, she worked at a center that helped poor children. The children loved her. Amelia loved to help people. There's the caption right here, and you see her helping. And this is Amelia in her nurse's uniform. A love of flying. When Amelia was 23, her father took her to an air show. She took a short ride in an airplane that day. Amelia fell in love with flying. Amelia wanted to be a pilot. She worked hard to earn money for lessons. In her own words, as soon as we left the ground, I knew I myself had to fly. There's a caption. Amelia with the first plane she owned. Amelia's first teacher was pilot Nita Snook. In her time, many things were different in the late 1920s and 1930s. Jobs. Most people did not have a lot of money. There were not many jobs. Money. A stuffed teddy bear cost 98 cents in Amelia Earhart's time. Nice a picture of a radio. People did not have TVs in their homes. Most people listened to the radio. For fun, people played board games for fun. Cars. Cars were much slower than they are today. They couldn't go very far either. And women. Finding jobs was harder for women than for men. Some people thought women shouldn't work outside the home. Setting records. Amelia always tried to do better. She flew fast. She flew high. Amelia wanted to be the first woman pilot to cross the Atlantic Ocean. It was very dangerous. Many people had died trying. But in 1932, she made the long, hard trip. And she did it all by herself. Her own words, adventure is worthwhile in itself. Becoming famous. Amelia Earhart was becoming famous. She was well known because she was a great pilot, but also because she was a woman pilot. Not many women had careers in the 1930s, but Amelia did. She told women they could have careers too. Okay, let's read the captions. Amelia taught women college students about jobs and careers. In her own words, women must try to do things as men have tried. And a career is a person's life work. Amelia wrote books about her flying career. She gave speeches all over the country. In 1933, she was invited to the White House. Amelia became friends with Eleanor Roosevelt, President Franklin Roosevelt's wife. She took Mrs. Roosevelt for a ride in her plane. Mrs. Roosevelt wished she could be a pilot too. And here's the White House. Amelia and Eleanor Roosevelt agreed that women could do the same kind of jobs as men. And here's a picture of them too. An American hero. Amelia got many awards and medals. She spoke to college students about aviation. People everywhere wanted to be like her. Amelia was not afraid to try new things, and she never gave up. She was a hero to Americans. Okay, words to know: aviation, the world of flying and airplanes. And this is Amelia right here at Purdue University. Amelia helped test a parachute. You can see here the parachute. Amelia was the first woman to get a medal. It is the U.S. Distinguished Flying Cross. You see it right there. 6 fun facts about Amelia. Okay, number 1. Amelia drank hot cocoa and ate oranges on her plane trips. 2. Pilots used to be called aviators. The word comes from avis. It means bird in Latin. 3. Amelia married George Putnam in 1931. He published books. He helped Amelia with her career. Number 4. One of Amelia's planes is at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. It is in Washington, D.C. Okay, number 5. Amelia was the first president of the 99s. This is a group of women flyers. So she was in charge of that group. Number 6. Amelia had her own U.S. postage stamp. It came out in 1963. Around the globe. Amelia always dreamed of flying around the world. She got a bigger, faster plane to make the trip. Amelia took Fred Noonan with her. He was her navigator. His job was to give directions. Amelia's job was to fly the plane. Words to know: a navigator is a person who uses maps to help find the way. In her words, flying may not be all plain sailing, but the fun of it is worth the price. The last flight. Amelia and Fred flew for 1 month. They flew across deserts and mountains, but the hard part was next. They had to fly over the huge Pacific Ocean. They would have to stop for gas on a tiny island. It was hard to find, but Amelia was brave. On July 2nd, 1937, she took off from her final stop. Let's read the caption right here, this plane. This is a Lockheed Electra 10E airplane, the same model Amelia used in her flight around the world. And this right here, the cockpit of Amelia's plane. So the cockpit's where the pilots sit. Okay, now let's look at this timeline down here. In 1897, she was born July 24 in Atchison, Kansas. In 1916, she graduates from school. In 1918, works as a Red Cross nurse. In 1921, she learns to fly from pilot Nita Snook. She buys her first airplane. In 1922, she sets record for highest flying at 14,000 feet. In 1926, works at a children's center in Boston. Suddenly, the plane couldn't be reached by radio. No one is sure what happened. Many people believe the plane ran out of gas and crashed. Amelia was never found. Amelia Earhart was a great pilot. She taught others to live without fear. She was loved by people all over the world. Let's finish her timeline here. So in 1930, she sets record for fastest flying at 181 miles an hour. 1931, she marries book publisher George Putnam. In 1932, she flies across the Atlantic Ocean alone, landing in Ireland. In 1936, Purdue University gives Amelia money to buy a Lockheed Electra 10E airplane. In 1937, she sets off to fly around the world. She disappears on July 2nd, 1937. In 2012, new search begins for Amelia's plane. Nothing concrete found yet. And right here on the map, this is Amelia's final flight. So let's look right here. So the line here is where Amelia flew. The yellow dot stop she made, and then the green right here says not all stops are shown. Okay, so she starts right here in California. She goes to Florida, stops in Brazil, and remember this is a globe, and this is just flat. So then she goes to West Africa, Ethiopia, Pakistan, Thailand, down to Australia and New Guinea, and then this was the big stretch right here that she had to do in the Pacific Ocean. And so this is where Amelia disappears over the Pacific Ocean. What in the world? These pictures show close-up views of items from Amelia Earhart's time. Use the hints to figure out what's in the pictures. Answers on page 31. Okay, so let's see here. What do you think this is? A hint? This is a machine used to fly. Think about it. Whisper it. An airplane. Number 2. It protects your head. Think about it. Whisper it. A helmet. Okay. And oops, I'm not showing you the words. These are the words you're choosing from. Okay. Number 3. Hint. They cover your eyes. Okay. Think about it. Whisper it to yourself. Goggles. Okay. Number 4. This is an award. Get the picture. What do you think it is? Think about it. Whisper it to yourself. A medal. Number 5, hint, you can use this to find your way. Think about it. Whisper it to yourself. A map. Number 6, it goes on a piece of mail. Think about it. Whisper it. A stamp. Okay, and then the words to know. Remember, aviation, the world of flying in airplanes. A career, a person's life work. A navigator, a person who uses maps to help find the way. And a pilot, a person who flies an airplane. Okay, so now go ahead and think about Amelia Earhart and write down cool facts for your journal fact about Amelia Earhart. What did you learn about her? What are some cool facts that you remember about Amelia Earhart? Remember, it is an AR quiz. So go ahead and, when you're done with your journal prompt, listen to it again and then take an AR quiz on it.